Maiden mother master on a mission. 3 and 1 playing my position. Bypassed queen a long time ago. Spiritual gangster, I was born woke. Born woke, born woke. Spiritual gangster, I was born woke. Born woke, hey, born woke. Spiritual gangster, born woke. Greetings, my lovelies. Happy full moon. Happy spring equinox. Happy spring. Happy day. Welcome to Maiden Mother Master. I am Deanna Dawn and super happy to be here because I'm talking to Yessi Yah today. We had a long chat. You can call it an interview, I guess, but it was definitely long form, getting to know the miracle brother known as Yessi Yah. We go way back. I guess not so far back, because I've really only known him maybe in this lifetime 6 years, maybe 6 years. Yeah, well, yeah, about 6, 7 years, somewhere in there. But we go back lifetimes, definitely. I've known him in many other incarnations. And he's a beautiful soul, and I think you will agree. And it's pretty lengthy, so I hope you listen and check it out. And again, as always, I would love your feedback. I would love your input. And I would love to hear from you. Today is, as I said earlier, the spring equinox. Night and day are equal. It's also a full moon. So it's a very mystical day. It's a day for ritual and magic. It's a day where the veil is very thin and we can easily communicate with both our own higher selves and the higher selves of others, as well as other etheric, astral, and mystical beings. So I hope you take full advantage of that. Earthly work on this day is usually making your vision board. Create your vision board under this full moon, which is today, tomorrow, just for the next 3 or 4 days, will be under the full moon energy. And if you make a vision board now, this is really the start of the year because it's Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, and it's just the time to really, really launch everything. Now, caveat to that, we are also in smack dab in the middle of Mercury retrograde. So you don't want to launch too many new things. You don't want to sign contracts. You don't want to launch any new business ventures. You don't want to do that. You want to spend your time thinking and reflecting. Let your vision board be it's sort of an affirmation of what you may have started in January and what you see for yourself as the year goes forward. So hold the vision. Definitely reflect on fine-tuning the vision and go ahead and cut out some pictures and make a pretty collage for yourself to look at for the rest of this year and into next year and maybe even beyond. I like to make a vision board that has both short-term goals and intentions as well as long-term goals and intentions. And also, whenever you're making a vision board, always remember to put yourself on the board somewhere or representative of self. So if you have all these visions and no picture of you, it's just kind of random wishes floating around out there. But if you anchor them with your own energy, then those things that you desire for yourself will just pour into your life so beautifully. So yeah, that's about all I have to say right now. I'm feeling very talkative because Yessi and I had a great conversation. It was amazing. And he confessed some things and we went over some things. He told me basically his whole life story, just a synopsis. He's a former Alvin Ailey dancer. He's an amazing, amazing artist, fantastic dancer, fantastic actor, singer, really a true showman and performer. And he is, I like to call him the child whisperer, because he is the most amazing acting coach that I have ever seen work with children. So I met him on a film set, and he was working on a film, and there was a child who was one of the leads on the film, and the child did a take, and it was okay. I mean, it was a talented child. You could understand why the child got the part. But then he whispered a few words between takes to that child. And the next take was spectacular. I mean, it was amazing. And I was like, what in the world did he say to that child? And I mean, it took the child's performance from, if it was an 8 before, it went to 80. I mean, it was really, really drastic. So he's amazing in many different ways. And you'll see. I mean, just listen to him, and he's a powerful being, and someone that I hold near and dear to my heart. So without further ado, here's Yessi Yah and our chat.
Give me more and more and more and more and more. I'll take all that you have, all that you have, and more and more and more and more. 'Cause I never get enough of your love.
Twice weekly relationship.
Speaking of performers and their background, let's go into your history.
Uh-oh.
Where were you born? Were you born in Detroit? Did you tell me?
In Muskegon.
Muskegon.
It's other side of the state of Detroit, of Michigan.
What did your parents do?
Don't know. My mother was kind of caught up with the 60s freedom for black folks.
Nice.
Which means she was out doing her thing. She was a vocalist, singer, church woman, started off in the choir and kind of got caught up in the nightclub scene and the drug scene. So I remember an ambulance coming to get my mother one night. I couldn't have been no more than 5. And she was, high as hell off something, no idea. But, it was traumatic. But that was when, I did not really know my mama was my mama. Because my grandmother mostly raised me. And my mother was there.
Right.
But, my mother was so...
Yeah.
It was like, I'm here. And I'm just like, I'm here. What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my mama, but, I almost can't remember my mother except for that time in my childhood. And my great-grandmother was there, my grandmother was there, and my little sisters showed up.
So what do you mean showed up?
They just, I don't remember ever seeing my mama pregnant.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember my mama going to the hospital to have a baby.
Oh, wow.
I remember none of these things happening.
Right.
But I do remember when my sisters started showing up as babies.
And there were 2.
Yeah, and because thinking back, like my older sister slept with my great grandmother, and she was there, but there was no like a lot of playing together. I remember none of this.
She was a lot. She was born a long
She's
time.
3 years younger than me. 2 years younger than me.
2 years younger. Okay, so
And my youngest sister's only 3 years younger than me. My oldest younger sister has a different father.
Okay.
And my youngest sister has the same father.
Okay.
That gives you an idea where my mama was going with her life.
She liked that guy though.
Yeah, she liked my daddy, evidently. Because and the thing about that is, as a child, you know, it's like, did I just pop on the planet? Because I remember well these things happening.
And so they showed up before you have the memory of seeing your mom go in the ambulance.
They were,
because you said you were around 5. Yeah.
And I'm thinking I'm no more than 4. I'm not in school.
Right.
You know, and when I realized I had a little sister, I kind of got my younger sister as my sister first, because they put her in the bed with me. So I grew up with my younger sister being a really little baby next to me, playing with my ear all the time.
Oh,
and
cute.
You know, I remember them being there, but I was like a little boy. I didn't want to play with them if they looked like little girls.
Right, yeah.
You know,
little boys.
I'm a little boy. What are y'all? I play with you, you got a dress on. I would literally say that. You know, you got a dress on and stockings. Go away from me. And I think, you know, it affected them because my younger sister's kind of hard. Like, she preferred to be kind of tough.
Yeah.
And I know it's my influence because I was like, no, you got to be a little boy to be around me. So, but they weren't around me.
Right.
And
but grandmama was raising all of y'all.
Grandmama was part of Continental Motors. You know, Vietnam War was hot and heavy during that time. You know, we're talking mid and late 60s. Martin Luther King killed in 68. So all types of civil unrest is happening that I'm totally unaware of. But I remember when Martin Luther King got killed. And my mother was crying. Everybody was just and holding me like, you know, what the hell you holding me for? What I do? You know? You know, and like they worried about me, but Martin Luther King had gotten killed.
Right, yeah.
And so it was just you know, when I was growing up, it seemed that civil rights was so thick. And people were coming together from so many different places. Like my grandmother, totally working woman, taking care of the whole family, to include her mother. And my great-grandmother, probably straight out of sharecropping. My only man I knew was my great uncle, who was my great grandmother's brother.
Okay.
No granddaddy, no uncles around, no.
So these were strong women, because back then,
off the damn chain. You know, couldn't mess with them.
Right.
Just neighborhood women.
Yeah.
And when I grew up, you know, we lived on the west side of Muskegon, Michigan. Like, I don't know, all the old head gangsters was on our side of town.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a preacher that founded the church, but he got another woman and all kind. You know, my rest of my family's in Chicago, so he ended up going there. I guess for opportunity, because that's like a city. You know, we're in a small town.
Yeah.
And however, him and my grandmother weren't together no more. He was gone a long time before I really knew anything.
Yeah.
You know, I finally met him, I think I was 14.
Wow. Yeah.
And he had so many grandchildren, great-grandchildren.
Busy. Preachers tend to be.
See, his daughter, by someone else, was my mother's sister. She passed away, 40 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe 45 or 50. And
so your grandmother never married him. That was just...
No, she was married to him. She
okay.
was Hattie Larkins.
He just
went on about his business in Chicago, and that's where he stayed.
Yeah.
And by the fact he was, you know, just old guy that was with a lot of his family as the granddaddy in Chicago.
Right.
So it didn't bother me. He knew who I was. He was a little older when I finally met him, to the point of not really talking to me and pulling me to the side.
Right.
Just, hey, yeah, this is my granddaddy. I barely remember what he looked like at all. If he walked up to me, I'd have no idea who he was.
Yeah. So these women were key
Always.
in your life.
Key. Matter of fact, I remember when I was little saying I was...
and you were surrounded by them because you had the sisters,
two
the
sisters,
grandmama,
great-grandmama,
and mama in and out. Wow. Yeah, see?
Yeah, so all
So you were the male energy for all of them.
I was the male
Nice.
energy, and I was protected in a way that was weird.
Women, super
in the
protect
60s,
black men. Yeah, absolutely.
They were scared I'd be killed at any moment.
Right.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
But that's what was going on
Right.
in the world.
Exactly.
So before I really have a freedom to know that I'm on Earth,
Right.
I'm like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Because, Martin Luther King
Sheltered
getting
you.
killed, all this stuff happening.
Yeah.
They're literally not letting you walk down the block.
That's real.
Real talk. So,
That's real.
and it relaxed as we grew, but there were always threats at the school of people doing this to children. And,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, right.
Yeah.
We're children, but the grown folks are like protecting us.
That's right. Yeah.
So that, by the 70s, Vietnam, that kind of all went away. Because the focus became, we're fighting together side by side in Vietnam, but that was some BS.
Right.
But the point is, that was the environmental setup when I made it to planet.
Right. Where did you go to school?
This little elementary school, East Grace Loftus. Walk to school. Dog walk me to school in the morning. Get out. Dog be outside.
Nice.
Monkey bar children. Flipping off the top of the monkey bars. I was always cutting edge, full of life child.
Yeah.
Wasn't no background child.
Right.
It wasn't no from the projects child.
Right.
So
they let you. So the school had to be closed because they let you. They let you walk to school with the dog
school was
as protector.
probably 6 blocks away.
Yeah.
Seemed like 2 miles back then, but it was probably about 6-7 blocks away.
Right.
And the dog would walk me there, be outside in the playground while all the children are in school.
Oh wow!
I remember
so
this
the dog
clearly.
waited for you.
Dog King
Nice.
was a top-notch child protecting dog.
Nice. What kind of dog was he?
German Shepherd.
Yeah. Oh, they're great.
Real, I'm talking
They're awesome.
real, like, this is my boy. Please
Right.
don't come nowhere near
Don't
this boy.
mess with him. You better not. Don't try me today.
Yeah,
Not
don't
today.
try King. King
Right.
had his own spot. I would go and lay. King had a little shed in the back of the house. If I wasn't around, I was in King's doghouse.
Nice.
And King was
That's
like
your buddy.
my buddy.
Yeah.
So young, there were 4 other children. There was Ray, there was Willie, there was Ronald, Willie's little brother, and Ray was from a more affluent black family than us. We were working black class. They were professional black class.
Gotcha.
For the late 60s,
Wow.
early 70s. And big families. Everybody, their family had something like 7 children in it. Our family, had the 3 children, and
What kind of work did your family do? And his family, what did they do?
I don't know what kind of work he did. I think he might have been in he was in some professional something.
His dad.
His Ray's dad.
Okay.
He
And his
he
dad
was the
was
kid
around.
that had everything. He
Right.
had the basketball court.
Yeah, right,
He'd
right.
have the bike.
Right.
He'd have stuff.
So you
And-
were aware that they were doing something, and but you didn't know what the profession was.
They were like
Yeah.
them, the Coopers. These were the people that had a little bit more money. Didn't know why at the time, but we hung in there with them, and all of us were on the same kind of upper middle class side of town for black folks.
Right. Gotcha.
Everybody
What
else
did
was
your
in the
grandmother do?
projects. She worked with Continental Motors,
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
building engines for aircraft carriers.
Oh, yeah.
Engines
was
for
definitely-
planes.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
retired.
Right. No wonder she was able to take care of all y'all. That's yeah.
I'm talking about wasn't nothing coming in but grandmama.
Right.
She didn't have no boy, wasn't no man nowhere around.
Yeah.
Grandmama.
That's how I like it.
And
I'm feeling her.
she was
Nice.
like, and now, thing about that is, it's smooth until I'm 17 and she has to transfer. And I'm cutting edge child, DJ, you know,
Nice.
out at nightclubs, you know, known throughout the city.
Right.
Premium dancer, done things like the Miss Michigan pageant.
Yeah.
You know, any kind of debutante thing where they needed to escort. I'm the one in the tuxedo bringing the ladies out and coming back.
Yeah.
Just being
so
elegant.
That's modeling work. Did you have a dance background? Did you take classes? Did you?
I was a dancer. Had my own dance group at school. Soul Train's big, so Soul Train is what you had to watch on Saturday.
Right. Yeah.
Because you needed to be able to go to school and do what they did on Soul Train.
Absolutely. That's what
Or
dancers had to
do something better than they did on Soul Train.
Nice.
And
right.
my crew was to imitate Michael Jackson crew and imitate
Yeah.
the Jackson 5 crew.
Yeah. Michael had the strong moves.
Yeah.
He was somebody who was creating his own moves.
And
yeah.
I didn't know that stuff because you know my grandma was raising me,
Right,
so
right.
I'm not cutting edge entertainment,
Right.
but
It was
my
in you,
friends,
though. Your mom was an entertainer.
yeah,
It's in your blood.
she's gone,
Yeah.
and she's really out entertaining, and she ain't. But you know, my mom's 18 or 19 at this time,
Right.
because she had me when she was 14.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, I'm a child with my mama. She's a child able to come home and pass out from doing whatever the fugazi she was doing. And
Right.
I'm her son, but, you know, you just this lady that shows up and passes out and might cuss at me every now and then, you know, because, you know, you frustrated and I'm holding you back. But
Right.
I'm not, because grandmama got me. She won't even
Grandma
let you
got
have me.
Right.
You go
Grandma
to
got
California,
you
Chicago, you can take the girls.
Right.
He ain't going nowhere.
That's real.
And that made me kind of upset, but as I look back, they protected me. I ain't letting you take this boy to Chicago. Hell no.
Hell no, right.
Hey, I'm talking hell
Right,
no.
right.
And I was like, I want to.
Right.
And it was like, there was no questions. You're not going no goddamn
That's
way.
real. That's real.
But they saved my life the way they felt they needed to do it.
Definitely.
And
So you were escorting the debutantes. You were at the functions. You were DJing.
and grandmama transfers, transitions. So I had I already auditioned for Alvin Ailey? I can't remember.
She
clearly.
transferred to another job location, or
She
left the planet.
transferred to another plane.
She left the planet.
She left the planet.
Okay.
So I'm out DJing that night. I come back and all the mission meeting ladies is at the house. Now remember, I got a great grandmother too.
Right. Great
Who's
grandmama
now living
was
at
still alive.
a senior citizen home.
Okay.
And I visited her there, and that was strange to me because she was kind of despondent being there, where she was just cool and herself as great grandmama at home.
Right.
And I didn't like that, and that made me really miss my great grandmama because you know I'm used to her having a spit cup, telling me go get my spit cup. I'm gonna go get your spit cup.
Dip snuff.
And you know, dip snuff, all that.
Yeah.
And you know, she was a knock-kneed, dark-skinned, black-featured, absolutely African-looking woman. Her child was high yellow. My grandmother, high yellow, short. So some, short white man and got with her and created my grandmama.
That's the only way she coming out of that.
So there's no great-grandfather anywhere. There's no great-great-grandfather. There's just these women that made it through whatever the hell went on.
Right.
And they are so tough.
Yeah.
That they are softening themselves to raise me. Because there's a difference with how they talk to me and a difference with how they deal with anybody in the world.
Yeah,
oh, no, the girls are good.
Yeah, they probably will.
But, you could tell these women were no bullshit women.
Right.
Now, they talked to me sweet, took care of me, whooped my ass.
Right.
But when I sat and listened to them talk about people they had to cut, the shit they done did, I'm like, damn, y'all crazy. I ain't be nothing like y'all. But they taught me against the street. By listening to them, I'm like, I'm judging them, you know.
Right.
I ain't be like, y'all crazy.
Right.
Plus they women,
there, right.
so I'm a man. So
Right.
I'm like, I ain't doing that. That's
Right.
what women do.
Right.
But really, they protecting themselves in a man's world that I don't even know about yet.
Right.
I don't like men because of listening to them.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
I'm a male lesbian.
Right.
I told myself
Right.
that. I don't like men,
Right.
but I'm a man.
Right.
I don't like them.
Right.
And I ain't standing women because all I'm around is women.
Right.
But I
Right.
definitely don't like men.
Right.
I don't even know I'm a man.
Right.
And they're like, they made me firm though. So I was so suspect of men. Men had to prove worth dealing with
Nice.
to me.
That's
And
powerful.
the only man that ever showed up that I didn't see through was Steve-O. Because he was hiding homosexuality that I never had any inkling about.
Right.
Wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah. Because it wasn't out and allowed. It was
wasn't
all
allowed. It was
closeted.
very
Locked.
closeted,
Yeah.
very taboo, could get hurt. But
Even in the artistic community, which
even
is crazy to me.
and the church kind of made the freedom for gayness. And I remember the choir director supreme in our town was, damn it, what's his name? It'll come back to me because he was that famous as a gay dude who would direct the hell out of choir.
Right. Yeah, they still good at that.
Jimmy Dowell.
Jimmy Dowell.
Jimmy Dowell was the supreme gay person.
Right.
And he was gay now.
Yeah, there was always like one.
There's always this one that's
yeah. Who was not afraid to be out.
He already had all the white people in his pocket because he'd been slinging his meat everywhere already. And you know, when you look at it, how was these people doing? Oh, y'all were in love with us.
Yeah.
And if somebody had that gay gene to be able to know, oh, this is my way out, even though it was a fugazi way, they saved a lot of people, bringing them through as, listen, I'm the man woman here, and you're not going to get away with this way. You're going to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this.
Right.
So they had control over a white portion that kept a buffer. Now, as you can tell now, it's always been there. Now it's just out the closet completely.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
but now, I knew about Jimmy Dowell, so I knew about gayness, but I didn't really know what it was.
Right.
And when Steve-O showed up, he was feminine enough for me to communicate with.
Right. Because you had been used
Because
to all the women. Right.
all women,
Communicating
all
with women.
strong women
Right.
that were pretty. And see, my mother ends up being gay, so she's exposed. It's always there, and she's young. So my mama, when my mother's 27, I'm 10. No, I'm not even 10. I'm more like 12.
12, 13, yeah.
So here she is, 27, experimenting, and she's at the cutting edge of gay
Right.
in my town.
Right. I can imagine.
There's another couple of ladies that become my aunts that are, you know.
Yeah. Here's Aunt so-and-so.
Aunt-
That's
Aunt-
really Mama's girlfriend.
Aunt
Yeah.
and Deborah Body.
Yeah.
And Deborah Body, her people were the mighty clouds of joy.
Okay.
She sung like a bird. She was killed stopping a fight in California. And that's who she was. She didn't allow bullshit. You know, she was a very nurturing young woman. And now Deborah was probably 17 when she became one of my best friends.
Okay.
So when she was my best friend, I'm learning how to do this. She's talking to me on the side and probably liked me as a young boy she was seeing coming up.
Right.
I'm, you know, good-looking young man, and she's with the gay girls, but a lot of that is I wasn't pretty enough for the dudes, and they was complete assholes during the 60s anyway. Black men were just, in the 60s, they were deprived, is the only way to describe it. You had no culture. You were fighting being a slave or coming out of sharecropping. All of you were angry because of what you're going through.
Right. Yeah.
And you it's just it's a social mess. It's really a social mess. And so again, now more women in my life, and they're all gay. And I'm here not gay, but my only friend is a gay man. So I don't even know how cool they were outside of me knowing all of them.
Right. because
the gay community was family. That's when the word family came
from.
out.
Yeah, they still use that.
They still use that. And see, when I look at somebody and say, you family, they'll look at me like, who are you?
Right.
And I'll look at them like, I'm part of the family.
Right.
And the thing is, I might not even be homosexual, but I am part of the family.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
My regard for the homosexual community has always been, well, they my people.
Yeah, I'm
but
that way too.
I'm a lesbian male.
I'm
so
considered family, definitely.
That's my point. And so when we go for our impasses over homosexuality, it's like, my contact with homosexual is so in depth that it's like, Steve-O confided with me as a brother over his homosexuality, protecting me and loving me at the same time.
Nice.
So, in retrospect of my compassion for that world, what else could I have but compassion for it?
So he never came on to you?
Nothing.
Any of that, yeah.
Matter of fact, when I had my one homosexual experience, I snuck off to do it.
Oh, wow.
And
did you tell him?
Told him later on, actually hurt him.
No. He was like, it should have been me.
And I felt, damn, it should have been him, but it shouldn't have been, but it's done.
Right.
And no, it shouldn't have been you, because I wouldn't look at you the same.
It'd be different, yeah.
And I look at homosexuality different now because of the extra I got out of my myth with it. I was like, oh, that's ugly in a man. Oh,
so it wasn't, you had a bad experience the first time.
It wasn't. It was a deception because it was a guy dressed as a woman.
Oh, yeah.
And I just kind of went with the flow. It didn't, I'm thinking it's all right, but it confirmed me you're not gay.
Right.
If anything, you're not gay. And
especially with deceived and the whole,
I mean, we weren't talking about AIDS in the air or nothing.
Right, none of that. But the whole deception vibe is
all of that. And me, I'm everything. Loving. Yeah. So I'm really thinking this is a girl.
Yeah.
And this dude, high yellow, fake breasts, not real breasts, but the fake stuff. We're young.
Right.
And I'm dancing. I'm at a club in another city with this person because I'm dancing with the Grand Rapids Civic Ballet.
Oh, nice.
So I got gay people around me all the time. And I ain't studying you.
Right.
This was a girl at a club.
Right.
And kind of, think of the whole thing. This is a underage boy that's dressed like a girl in a club I ain't even supposed to be in.
Right.
But we jamming, and I'm protecting him because he acting delicate.
Right.
And look delicate.
Right.
So I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
And then when we get alone, because I'm driving, took him home, he's like, I'm ashamed of this and ashamed of that. And it's exposed it's a man finally.
Right.
And I didn't stop. I went on through the whole, hoop-de-rah.
Right.
And then the aspect of a man not being a man and you're not a woman came out.
Right.
And that, okay, I'm not gay. This is just something I had to learn.
Right.
And no, I don't even like that in a man, what you just showed me.
Right.
Because before you were a woman, until we got to this point, now you turned into this weird bitch type thing. And it defined it defined the breach of love between men. Because I could love you even if you were confused until it became you're so confused that you're not the person I wanted to love.
Right. And then the deception
And the deception.
It's always a turnoff. Deception is just a turnoff. It can really turn you off to a whole,
but the air was saying, oh, it's kind of okay. It ain't legal yet or anything, and it's still taboo, but it's kind of okay. So
it's okay. It's
I'm in another city.
Choices. You know how I feel.
know gay people.
Right.
You check this out. And, oh, no, I shouldn't check this out. And I've told my son, I told Steve-O, I've told you.
Yeah.
Very few people know I've ever had and I'll tell them, I've had a gay experience. So it's not like I don't understand. I'm thoroughly aware of my heterosexuality.
Well, most people have, and that is how they define or determine who they are. Like, because I'm so, hardcore, so some of my gay friends are like, oh, just settle down with you, a nice woman, and you're going to be fine. And I'm like, I'm not drawn to women like that. I can't lay with a woman every day and be like, this is my mate. It's just not something
I don't even
that
like
I'm drawn
a feminine man like that.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I love you, but I
love
do
you,
not
but-
like this bitch that you're holding on to inside your personality.
Well, I feel like they're looking for the balance of the masculine and feminine within, because we
that's
all have
not what
to
it
find that balance, and so they teetered a little too much to one side of the balance in trying to find the balance. So they I don't know. It's like,
No.
and only some of them do. I've met some who are very balanced. Yes, who are they're masculine, they're feminine.
Was balanced.
Right.
Steve-O was a brother that he was so elegant. You say this dude has to be gay.
He's too pretty to be straight.
No, not pretty.
Just
No, Steve-O was not a pretty man.
okay.
Steve-O was a black man.
Right.
Yeah. Featured black, big,
Strong.
robust.
Yeah.
But his presence was larger than him, and he was big.
Nice.
So when he spoke, he
Commanded
he had children. He was teaching, so
Right.
he made a stage and kept a stage around him for
Had
you
to.
on the outside.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah.
Because I'm here to teach you to be the best you can be, and that's what the nigga did. The nigga made you the best you possible.
So now, is that where you got exposed to ballet? Because you said you were with the
He
ballet.
took me to a ballet school.
Nice.
And talked to Florence Castle, Ashe Florence. I never gave her the props and love I should have. Jewish woman, I love her to this day, and I know you feel me. And he said, this young man needs you. She put me on scholarship
Nice.
at her school. I did all of her recitals. I was her premier dancer for 5 years, from the age of 13 until I went to Alvin Ailey.
Nice.
More importantly, when I came back from Ailey and shared my experience, the young men that were under me, all are successful. Rovan Hill, I was his first dance instructor. He was a choreographer for Alvin Ailey, my student.
Nice.
So I'm like, I'm the shit. What's wrong with you?
Right.
The people I've touched.
Absolutely.
And this me right now. When Steve-O passed away, our whole entourage kind of came back together. We lost Steve-O.
Right.
And everybody is like, I was taught by one of the best in the world.
Right.
Everybody that came in and see, remember I got to be back with Steve-O 2 weeks before he passed.
I know. I remember you told me that.
So when I get back to town,
Yeah.
a renaissance started.
Nice.
He started calling people up because it was me. And he knew he was dying though. And he would not tell me I am absolutely dying. He would tell me, I'm gonna try to do that, Antonio, but I don't know that I'll be as bro, you good.
Right.
And my spirit was like, no, you good. I wouldn't even receive the possibility of you being ill.
Right.
But he was.
He was. Okay.
And
Which just means he was choosing to leave.
he waited until he got to speak to me to leave. I am so honored.
That is
I
beautiful.
know the universe said, no, he can't even leave until you tell him how much you love him and you give him comfort. Whew.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So everybody motivated now. Everybody like, Antonio. I'm like, yeah, I'm that person, but you know me. Right. And the power in the spirit is that strong through this network I'm telling you about.
Absolutely.
And when he passed, the thing about that was, for me, is now you with me all the time, and I know you know where I'm coming from.
Right.
So it's since I know you're not gone,
Right.
it's different for me. My sadness is you don't get to do this with me.
Right.
Physically?
Right. But technically you do.
But technically you
right
do.
There, right,
because in my heart, I'm confirmed that Steve-O is a twin flame of mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
So no, that's nothing sexual.
Right.
Steve-O is waiting for me someplace so that we can continue our journey. And remember, I went to jail one time. I had this dream of being in an upper room with the spirits in their natural form, which wasn't necessarily human, but human-like. And I believe Steve-O was one who was there before me in this place that we're going to that has another portal window that we can fly out of. And everyone there was waiting on me saying, it's time for us to go. We've been waiting on you. And I was the first one out of this window and the dream ended. So in my spirit world, Steve-O's just on chill at the window. And as soon as when I get there, we're gonna book and go to another plane. So I already kind of have this ingrained in the DNA somewhere. And this past DNA. This is in the astral plane here. So I mean, well, the Steve-O aspect of it in the gay and all of that is for this time.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's not that all men have to be gay for it to be okay or tolerable. It's that you must have a compassionate understanding of who these people are.
Right.
And that, my education is so profound to me. There's no way to teach the things I know in a school. Not in a regular, you go to class and get the, no, it's high spirit and, even to the effect of my mother not being able to say things back to me.
What do you mean?
She had a stroke. She had,
Oh,
so she hears
right.
me, understands me.
Yeah,
and all she can say is,
I remember you told me that's how you
over
got
there,
the name Yessi.
or,
Yeah.
Or
So you were Antonio. What was your last name as Antonio?
Burton. Antonio Lee Burton.
Antonio Lee Burton. So where did
A limb?
where I want to know where a limb came from. Yeah.
Nation of Islam.
Okay. So you had an incarnation with them as well. So let's stay on the dance track. This woman took you in.
Dance with her.
Until Alvin Ailey.
Until Ailey.
How did you come across Alvin Ailey? And was it through Alvin himself?
No,
because
it was
he was still around during that time.
Alvin was still alive when I went to Ailey. He passed while I was at Ailey.
Okay.
And I got to meet him. Wonderful person, very quiet man, powerful dude.
Judith Jameson.
Met Judith Jameson. I've been in class with Judith Jameson. She loved me. I loved her. She was such a wonderful woman. There's several other dynamic people in that organization back then that they were on the way, way, way up level as far as the world goes. And they had to reach so far back to get to us. They had to put so many avenues in place to have that place available for artists.
Right.
Just remarkably good spirit work. Just
they still are doing good. They
you got to think about them being at the epitome of New York ballet and entertainment, going all the way into a town like Muskegon, Michigan. They didn't go there, but reaching that far across the United States and pulling in those talented resources to that one location. That to me was, as I think about it now in what I'm doing, thinking about what they did to get to the point that gave me what I got. Oh man, that shit's off the chain.
Absolutely. So you were the other lady. Tell me her name again.
Florence Castle.
Okay, Florence Castle was in Muskegon.
She was in Muskegon.
Okay, and so how did did you audition for Alvin Ailey in Muskegon or in New York?
On the bus to New York, I knew Ron Cradle's brother. Okay. Ron Cradle was a gay friend of Steve-O, who lived with Steve-O while he taught English at our high school. Okay. And I'm part of this group that are maybe 8 years, 10 years older than me. And they've got their gay attitudes, but they are educators. Yeah. Love these men. These men, if you were a gay boy, you get hooked up with them, I think, eventually. Yeah. But if you were just a child, they were cognizant of their duty.
Nice.
So I can
beautiful.
never take away anything from them. And the only thing I would say is the attitude of the children dealing with gays at that time was a obstacle, but they met the challenge mark. They just stood up, were themselves.
Right.
They gay little happy little. Ron was a little bitty light in the ass, light skinned dude, kind of cute. So he probably was the woman a lot in his life. But I don't know, cause he's kind of fiery.
Right.
But they were just aware of the limitations on them because of who they were, and they stood in the gap.
Right.
Ron became the assistant to Steve-O, and it was kind of tough for him because Steve-O was a hard act to be next to.
Right. Let alone follow him.
Follow. He ain't no following Steve-O.
Right.
It's like, and Steve-O was two people. He was very elegant and poised with adults, but with children, he became a god.
Nice.
It literally, if an adult came in and saw him handle the children, he could do what he did, and he went everywhere in the city. He was youth employment program director, this director, that educational director, should have been mayor. And I actually had a lot to do with him pulling back because, now this is what he told me. He said, out of all of the people I've mentored, you're the only one that never asked me for anything once you left the school. You never turned around. You never said, I need this. You never said, can you send me this?
Right.
And I was like, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
He said, I would have given you my entire life had you asked for it. And I was like, I knew he would have, but I wouldn't ask him because literally he's like my brother.
Right.
So you doing your thing, I got to do this.
Right.
So I'm doing okay. I didn't know what I was missing because if I could come to a place and go to sleep, eat, and get to school, my mind was never programmed for commercial advancement. It only in the last 10 years has come into my, got to make this commercially viable.
Right. But your gifts with children are immense and powerful. That's how I met you. You were just the child whisperer with those child actors. It was amazing. I mean, there was one performance on take one, you whispered, and then take two was incredible. I mean, it's really, and I'm seeing how you having big. Was there any acting in that training with Steve-O?
Because Steve-O was on stage in front of children to do and pull out of us what he had to pull out of us.
Nice.
If you couldn't match Steve-O, you would be intimidated. So I didn't like being intimidated because I was like, the first encounter with Steve-O was being big-eyed Buddy Lomax in the film, not the film, the stage play Tambourines to Glory by Langston Hughes. And the role is the devil.
That's what Steve-O was playing?
No. Steve-O was directing it and bringing the stage play to our high school.
Were you in it?
I was the devil.
You were the devil?
But see, here's what happened. See, the play auditioned. And you want a senior so that the lead person can get best actor at the end of the year. I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know how high school worked.
Right.
I didn't know there were award ceremonies. Never went through that stuff.
Right.
So 2 weeks into rehearsals, none of the seniors have the aptitude to study and get the lines. I know the whole play 2 weeks into the show.
Nice.
I'm literally telling people their lines constantly.
Right.
I'm like, let me play the line, man. Let me play the role. So I did the whole monologue one day, and he said, he wouldn't tell me that day, but what he told me later on was he talked to one of the English teachers that was assisting him, and he said, I don't know if I should cast this young man in this role. It's a very big role. And They said, no, he already knows it. We got like 2 weeks out.
Right.
So
he knows the parts.
and
Yeah, and he can do it.
I'm doing it, no makeup, no nothing, right?
Right.
So we're going through it, and I've got it down. So literally, I'm being honed now to be the president of the Performing Arts Club next year.
Right, nice.
I didn't know that,
Right.
but that's who I am. I'm
Right.
like, I would do this. I love this.
Yeah.
So, rave reviews.
I can imagine.
I'm talking about rave. Western Michigan paid attention to us. Well, now, you just Muskegon, Michigan.
Right.
It's nice that the city know you're doing something.
Right.
When Western Michigan and the television station over here is like, what's going on in Muskegon?
Right.
They're filling up an auditorium every night for 3 weeks with a stage play?
Nice. Oh my God, that's amazing.
So we are the shit now.
Right.
We are the shit.
Bonafide.
Bonafide, the
Yes.
shit.
Right.
I'm on, and we are just the happiest children. And Steve-O is, now also, Steve-O brought the coronation ball to our town.
Oh.
And that's king and queen and the duke and the duchess of the classes, and the senior class, the junior class, freshman class, sophomore class.
Yeah.
The arts and all the clubs getting dressed up, and bring your parents out to the gym.
Right.
We're going to have the coronation ball for the king and queen of Muskegon Heights High School.
Nice.
Oh, Steve-O brought that.
That's beautiful.
Changed. Steve-O changed the city.
Nice.
And I was trained to change the world by Steve-O through how he changed Muskegon, Michigan.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yessi. Oh, yes, that gives me life. I love that.
So it's so powerful. Just thinking back on it, it's like there's, to write this out is a story about so many people that recognized greatness. Mm-hmm. Somebody recognized Steve-O to give him the opportunity to get there.
That's right.
And when he got there, Steve-O, he gave 1,000%.
That's beautiful.
So what he gave me is knowledge of how much you really affect every soul you come in contact with. Because Steve-O, he gave you part of his soul. And when you get a part of a person's soul, this part came from Steve-O.
Right. Nice.
And, I've got pieces from George. And they're, excuse me, I got to blow my nose. They're different pieces, but I know they came from George.
Right.
And they're the refined part of George. Steve-O helped me to understand all that.
So leaving him had to be difficult because when you left to go to New York for Alvin Ailey, what did he come to visit? He was back in Muskegon?
When I went there, the only people that visited me was Kathy Kelly, a white girl who was like my sister. Daryl Bass, my best friend, who went to a different high school, but was a refined young man for the time. We were very, he was a year younger than me in grade, but actually my age. And he saw in me what Steve-O put in me.
Right.
So we just became good friends. I'm talking about slumber party friends. And
was he a dancer too?
No, nothing in the arts didn't do. I mean, he was more a football player jock.
Right.
And I was artsy craftsy.
Right.
And together you would see us, and we were brother.
Right.
And, And he came visited in New York with Kathy, and my girlfriend at the time was 26. She worked for the city, drove him up there, and just hung out 2-3 days with me.
Nice.
And keep in mind, I'm young, getting coochie now, so I'm running around trying to hit everything that was wet. So that's in the mix of it, and I had no training for that. There was never a point in my life where men talked to me about what y'all are.
Right.
Ever.
But you got to know what women are from
but
experience
it's from the
of being around.
of y'all crazy. You got to watch y'all.
Yeah.
So my I don't know if that helped me as far as relationship goes.
Yeah.
Because you got to be more my sister to be around me, and I'm not. At that time, if you were a piece of ass, that's what you were. And I wasn't a dog, but I was. You know, I was just out getting ass like everybody else, and I didn't have no deep. I got a wife, and I wanted a wife at some point, I guess. But at the point, I had a list. You know, I was like, I got this.
Right.
And so, not proud of it, but I know that the absence of a man who's even aware of that stuff was relevant, because Steve-O was arts and career. He would kind of laugh and shrug his shoulders about a girl, like, oh, well, yeah, I see you out there with that. And I was like, okay, that's your gayness and you coming out. But it wasn't, it's just, that wasn't, he didn't do anything with me in that area.
Right.
That I had to trot all of that on my own. But,
So in Alvin Ailey, were you dating somebody
at
there?
Alvin Ailey, I dated one girl there. One time, Annette Pankey, and since my lover skills were like 0 at the time, I guess that was nothing. Right. And I was the straight dude at Alvin Ailey.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And there were only 2 of us, and when I left, there was only 1 of us.
Wow.
Before I left, because the one that came and said he was straight, Billy, ended up not being as straight as he thought he was by the end of the first semester he got there. So I was like, oh boy. So, and that's actually why I said I'm going to leave this alone. Yeah. Because I was like, well, I'm not gay enough.
Oh dear. Well, were you touring with them? And
No. This was all school.
Okay.
It was all educational things. I was with another organization in New Jersey called the Leaguers.
Okay.
In the Leaguers.
So this is post high school.
This is.
Or like
post high school,
concurrent with high school, but after.
All of this is post.
Okay.
Because high school was a dream, and my high school life was. You are in the entertainment industry. Every aspect of me from 13 to 18, I didn't fall off the entertainment until I was 19 years old and joined the military. And then I got my biggest roles. I played Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar.
In the military?
In the military.
Oh, wow. So they
5
have like arts in the military? I know they have the military band or the army band, but they have theater and everything.
They have theater. I work with a director named Yessi Yah out of New York, who's one of the leading directors in New York. Terry Mann from Cats, worked with him.
Wow.
And he kind of picked me up as his pet project in a
Right.
So
that's after Alvin Ailey.
That's all after Ailey.
Okay.
And this is a young black man with the presence to do anything on stage you want it done.
Right.
And if they wanted somebody to come up and act like a dog on stage real quick, they would call me.
Right.
And I had no qualms about, I'm a black man, you can make me be. They never even thought about it.
Right.
As I look back, I was like, that was kind of fugazi what they did. They had me playing some stuff that was,
but a true actor can just drop into character.
And the thing about it was, and that's what they appreciated. I was a pure performer.
Right.
On stage, the only time I had an impasse, and this is why I'm not Tyler Perry. We did a double entendre show called Ain't Misbehaving. No, not Ain't Misbehaving. What was the name of this show? It was an original piece, a lot of double entendres, Bessie Smith, music from the 20s, 30s. And in it, we'd come on stage there with 3 women. I was one of them. And we had, I think I told you about this. I'm in drag, full drag, with a beard.
Okay.
My back is turned. My back is turned to the audience like this. I got nice legs too.
Right,
so
right.
I'm in heels
Dancer legs.
with my back turned.
Right.
And when I turn around like this and start singing,
Right.
the audience passes out.
The people go
And
wild.
I'm talking, Tyler Perry has nothing on me as a woman.
Nice.
But I'm also Islamic. I'm Antonio X now.
Oh, so when did you
This is
intersect
in
with
California.
the Muslims? Okay, so that's while you were in the military?
It's after military.
After the military.
They put me out the military.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Why?
They claimed I assaulted a woman for saying she had nice breasts, which I didn't say she had nice breasts.
Wow. So they were
I was
about that
talking to
sexual
a crowd.
harassment way
Yes.
back then?
But wait now, this is where the ugliness of gayness comes out because the people that got me put out the army are all gay. The captain, the sergeant major is a female dyke. The sergeant major of the unit is a undercover fugazi kind of
down
big
low.
white man.
Right.
So here I am. I come in. I've been to combat. I've got a beret on. I'm a paratrooper. I'm the shiniest thing that gets off the plane in Europe that day.
Right.
They give me a job at 21st Replacement. I don't even get to go to the arena. That I mean, I'm no longer infantry. I'm an infantry
what's
soldier.
21st Replacement?
Where all the soldiers come into the European theater,
Okay.
stop to get their assignments, and then they go to their particular assignments.
Gotcha.
So it's a cushy job, and it's a whole job because we run a hotel, and we've got 17, 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old women coming out of boot camp not seeing a man for 12 to 16 weeks.
Right. Oh, dear. Yeah.
Wrong place for me. So I'm so just in black man heaven right now.
Right.
And then, what happens is I come in fully decorated, and I'm also talented. So I already got a cushy job. I'm supposed to be a grunt in the military with a gun and a parachute on my back in the woods.
Yeah.
I'm at the hotel, and I audition. There's a guy there when I auditioned who's been the premier black performer for the theater ensemble in Frankfurt, Germany.
Uh-oh.
And they have auditions.
Oh, dear. I knew you did.
Because I came on stage, and I'm doing the opening song for Jesus Christ Superstar. I came and said, "My mind is clearer now. At last, all too well, I can see where we all soon will be." Dun, 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 dun. I'm dancing,
right.
dun, dun, and I'm going across the stage. I'm
Killing the game. Right.
D, this audition, the dude, he knew he was Judas, right?
Right.
And I felt bad because this dude, he's flaming homosexual.
Okay. Yeah.
And so now he wants to get me. I must be gay if I'm that good. So he's inviting me to this place, and they throw a doggone flick, and I go, I got to go. I walk up out his crib because he done threw in a male sex flick.
Right.
And I don't know where your mind is. I'm so not where you're at.
Right.
I'm just a pure performer.
Right.
I'm an artist.
Absolutely.
And we did this play, and this is where I learned who I was. We're doing this scene, and the audience is captivated. I've got a very weak Jesus character playing Jesus. So I'm holding up the performance, and I'm having critics come to me and tell me, "You should not be here." I'm like, "You should not be here." And the way they said it was, "Why are you in the military?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Well, da 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 da." They're like, "No, I had a man speak to me angrily because you are on a military. You're a soldier,
Right.
but this one instant in the death scene of Judas, I'm in the zone. Macabre walks with me.
Right.
And in the death scene, they couldn't hang me or nothing like that, so I had to stab myself. And I'm going through it, and I'm going crazy, and I look in the audience, and I see this woman totally distraught.
Oh.
She is like, oh my God, oh my God.
Right.
And the spirit said to me, look at her. And I looked at her, and it said to me, she has lost touch with reality. This is what you do.
Nice.
So that stage
Excellent.
became God. It became where the oracles of God should come from.
That's right.
And at that point, I said, oh. And from that point, I knew that what I was going to have to do was going to be from the stage, and it was going to evolve into what we were supposed to, what we are doing.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
But when I looked at her face, and I realized the power that stage has, I was like, oh, I got to be careful. I didn't mind playing Judas because my spin on Judas was Judas loved Jesus.
Very much.
Judas was completely in love with Jesus.
And it's a plot they cooked up together. They were
on team.
They were on team. There was no betrayal. Yeah.
There was no betrayal.
No,
in
there was
reality.
no betrayal.
Right. In my heart, I was like, this is not really what happened.
Right.
This is not what happened.
Because you remember, you were there.
And I'm telling you, I'm sitting there like,
right.
I can really say, I know
I agree.
some of this didn't happen like this.
I agree.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
This man had to love Jesus.
Right.
And he may have killed himself after he was accused of killing Jesus.
Right.
Because he loved Jesus.
Right.
But the point being.
And he didn't know the rest of the plot.
He thought he actually killed Jesus.
Exactly. And then the people were coming at him so hard, he had nowhere to escape to. It was just
poor guy.
Yeah.
I played the shit out of that role.
I know you did. Yes,
5 star. 5 star. Then
Yes.
I did. I'm like, okay, maybe that's a fluke. I got a 5-star review. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I do another play, Dusky Sally. It's about Thomas Jefferson and his relationship with Sally Hemings.
Right.
I play her brother. And in this play, we sell Thomas Jefferson as a slave, and I'm the one who's auctioning him off.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Talk about a performance. I'm nothing but white people.
Right.
And no offense to them, but they are mesmerized.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Mesmerized.
Absolutely.
And this is a professional male white man actor. Done all types of stuff.
Right.
We were like that after this. He was like, bro, you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
again, when you get a 5-star review and you know you deserved it,
Yeah.
and when you walk out, I love after the show's over because I'm spent.
Yeah.
I'm spent, but I am going to go out and greet the audience and let them know. And when you walk out and people scream,
Right.
ah!
Yeah. It's the best. It's the best feeling.
That energy goes.
Absolutely.
And all I'm just like,
I know you're humble.
Absolutely.
Right,
like,
but you take it in. It's
take it
amazing.
in,
It feeds your whole being. I know. I feel you.
So
That's real.
Then, the purpose of why you have this gift is the question. Okay, why, Lord? Why are you doing this with me? Why you got me here? Why am I smoking dope at the same time I'm getting these 5-star reviews? And I ain't never been a crackhead. But
Right.
I did everything.
Right.
And I'm maintaining, and I'm looking at people going through this. I'm like, no, something's happening here. I'm different from some of these folks for some reason.
Right.
And even to the point of coming here, when I came here, and you actually was like, I got you, Yessi. You cool. Alim, you all right. I'm like, I'm all right. And I could.
And I couldn't call you a limb.
I know you can't. I
couldn't-
can't do this.
It wasn't even a hate. Yeah, see, it was like it wouldn't flow out of my mouth. That's how I always know.
holding back from holding See, when my mama started calling me Yessi, it made me mad that I couldn't hear my name no more from my mama. And
But your name was Antonio even then. Before that, you took on the name of Lim.
I know.
But what I've learned is that when a person's name does not flow out of my mouth, they don't have the right name. So I'm either supposed to help rename them or help them find their name.
Knowing. That's what a Lim means.
Yeah.
And my purpose was to serve the all-knowing gatherer. That is exactly what my name means. So when my mother started calling me Yessi, that took me right back to King David and the tribe of Jesse.
That's right.
Which would not have been Jesse, it would have been Yessi or Yessi.
And Yeshua.
And the way she's, and
all
of that. So
all that.
knowing my walk, and I know how much I have love. I know my love.
Right.
My love to me is like, I get to talk to you about it, but I don't get to talk about how I feel about everybody.
Right.
It's not necessary. I walk it. People get around me and they know.
That's right.
Him?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about him. Good. If I got you perplexed on what to say about me, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right, right.
And
that's real. That's real.
Doing that just let me know, okay, you some special kind of Negro. You better hold up to what the universe expects out of you.
That's right.
With this period of time you're gonna be here.
So that's a great transition into what do you feel you are supposed to be doing right now?
Using the bathroom. Be right now.
Okay. Use the bathroom. That's what's up.
Clear. Oof. Oh, I left it over there.
So what do you feel? So there's theater, there's dance, there's singing, there's music. Right now you're doing this wonderful Tuesday night Merkaba-esque gathering. And what do you see? Let me ask you that. What visions are you holding now for what's to come?
I see, looking at the performance that we orchestrate, and the just like right now with Ulu, I'm looking at this staff of people who are in this cooperative mode that are still attached to the world. And that what the universe did for me was say that we've got some better stuff for you later on. So just go ahead and muddle through this and do what you're going to do for generational wealth.
Right.
And that wealth has very little to do with money. It's all relationship and I could say acceptance. And there's a degree of discretion. And the discretion, that's the difficult part for me, because it's like, it's the aspect of things that you see imbalanced. So right now, the financial imbalances are what's most prevalent to people, but I don't think they're the most important imbalances.
Well, you know what? This is what it was. I was listening to something yesterday. The scientist, he was saying that there's been a study done of monkeys. Was it monkeys? I think it was monkeys. And they put two monkeys basically together. But they would feed one monkey cucumber and they feed the other monkey grapes. Now, you know, monkeys love grapes and fruit and sweet things. And so initially, the monkey that they were giving the grapes to, once he realized that the other monkey was getting something different, he wouldn't take the grapes. He was like, nah, he just wouldn't take the grapes until they gave the other monkey a grape. So they did a lot of experimentation with this thing. And the monkey that was given the cucumber became somewhat despondent. And I'm totally paraphrasing the whole experiment. It was really in depth, and the scientist was. I came in and caught the tail end of it, but I think the one that had that they were giving the cucumbers to became sad and a bit despondent because he could see what he really wanted was being kept from him. So I think we're at a crossroads on the planet right now because there's so many resources that nature provides. There's everything we could ever need or want in terms of abundance.
Being kept from each other.
Being kept and hoarded away from the masses. And it's unacceptable, it's unsustainable, and the planet is the planet doesn't like it. Let's put it that way. The planet has a personality, and she says, I don't like this shit. And something's going to change here. You know what I mean? So I feel like the work of the artist is to awaken the energies that make things right again.
Yes.
And I don't even know if the earth has seen the level of rightness that we're moving into at this point.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I'm saying?
And that is, see, you put that, matter of fact, last night, a song came over me that was simply The Righteous. The song was The Righteous.
Nice.
I don't think nobody recorded it. People keep saying...
Y'all are, oh my God, you're wearing me out with the not recording it. You know I'm coming, right? You know I'm coming to Ulu.
I'm not even worried about that. What I'm saying is people... Akina calls me last night at... we talked till 1 o'clock in the morning. And, here, you're going to love this one. Some lady came in and brought some coconut pie.
Ooh, yummy.
We were doing some kind of blues rhythm with nothing, just doing it. And I happened to get she brought my coconut pie in a little black cup to me. And I tasted it. It was absolutely delicious. And I sung a song.
About the coconut
pie. About the coconut pie.
Yes! In the moment.
The woman, everybody was trying to get their phones on. I was like, they ain't coming. This is a pure spirit song. Ain't nobody going to be able to record this. I already knew it. The song was absolutely beautiful. The woman said she left the phone alone and had to stop and listen because Akina's telling me, right?
Right.
And she says to me, because I'm telling, I pull back off, it's me when it comes to Macabre.
Right,
I said, we're doing this. What she said, you know what? No, Yessi, nobody else can do what you do.
Nobody.
Akina said,
right.
I'm sorry, Yessi, I got to tell you this.
Right.
I almost forgot. She said, because when you got that piece of pie and you took a bite and looked up and immediately started singing about coconut pie to that woman, that woman was elated. Right. I have never seen this woman so glowing in her life.
I love it. This is beautiful.
And
oh my God.
That's art.
That's it.
To me,
that's
when she told me that, because now keep in mind, see, Akina energizes me because Akina, I don't care what I do. Akina says, Yessi, no, you did this. Yeah. You brought my 5-year-old son on stage with the band.
Yes.
Do you know that he has said, I'm going to play this with the band next Tuesday. And he is practicing and practicing. Do you know, when I set him up to come up and do his thing, I'm going to look at the band and say, if he don't sound like Liberace when he do this, I'm going to kill all of you. But he's going to do his thing. And see, the thing is, not just him, but her next one, she's just there. The one is so little, she don't know what's going on. She's already she's going to be perfect.
Right.
The other ones are knowing that they hadn't been a part of it yet and being able to be a part of it. Nice. So when they walk up and look at me and they go to touch something, I go, what you going to play? They go, I said, uh-oh, here we go.
Right.
And that...
Yes.
Now, that's just children. But when you take that to the level of 60-year-old woman...
Yeah.
That one right there. That girl said...
Beautiful.
She was trying to record it. She was like, Yessi, I'm so sad I didn't get to record it, but your song made that woman's night.
Yes.
That woman would not be the same. I was like...
That's what it's all about.
That's what we do!
That's what we do!
That's what we do!
Yeah.
And
that's it right there.
So... I also
That's the macabre.
the,
Spinning.
now Andre knows me to do that.
Right.
Kwabena is jealous over it. I know.
Bless his heart. It's always one.
And you know what?
There's always one in the bunch.
Farouk just came on as one of the crew, and he can do a little something here, something. He messes around with everything a little bit.
Right.
He knows that's what you do, bro. So crew wise, and see, the humility is cool. I already know. I can't say I don't do these things.
Right.
I could say it, but then I'd be lying and I'd be challenging the universe. That'd be wrong of me. When my brothers accept this is what you do, and I can go ahead and flow and be the next thing, not just brothers but sisters too,
right.
man. It's kind of like they're saying, we finna ride out with Yessi Yah.
That's right.
And I'm like, come on, y'all. This is going to be a good trip. Let's
That's
go.
Right.
So that to me is where the ensemble there is. Now, how I got to that, I don't know. But, you know, the confirmations right now for who we are. You know, when I listen to these people ask about who they ask about, have you talked to D? And I'm talking like now. I need you to say yes. So I'm gonna get you on this show bill, that little flyer color thing.
Absolutely.
And because you know, I had to tell Akina, you know, we are Ulu.
Right.
Ulu was set up for you and I. Now you can sit here and act like you're not gonna do this, but you'd be entirely wrong.
Yeah.
And what you have to do is schedule your young people who this is for into it, because that was a saving grace. Your grandchildren are the ones benefiting already.
That's right.
They're already inspired. And if we just got them from just one or two little shows, wait till we get going. What I'm finding is some of the people almost can't believe it. They literally, because what Akina said was, you know, when she said what I was compared to other people, she said, no one else would have even known how to get those children what you gave them. Everybody else was like, and you just seem to naturally know, no, come up and do this. Right. And she observes how I interact with the children once they show up.
Right.
And I'm like, that's what, and I said this because the film aspect of what we're doing might capture enough to transfer Yessi to somebody. And when I say that, it's like the things I do aren't necessarily on stage, that note you hit and all that. They are interactive.
Right.
When people are impacted by me, it is, your soul still in there? Give it a smile.
Yeah.
And people observing that, they have a choice. You could hate it and be like, who he think he is, or you can be like, damn, that was off the chain.
Absolutely.
And see, there are no chains involved with us. It's no chains
freedom.
Around here.
Total freedom.
Freedom.
Freedom from chains and bondage.
That dude got up last night, the trumpet player, right? And we hadn't really winning anything. And somebody said, do a blues and B flat, like, you know, we all that. And me, I just hear the key and I play it.
Right.
So Quab and I started off. I was like, okay, as soon as I got the progression, I found it and I went in hard. So Quab and I started doing a little color in the background, which I'm actually the colorer there.
Right.
But I got to show you how to make this rhythm pop, bro.
Right.
So Kwabena is really like, what the hell are you doing? Because, you know, he's sitting here, all these chord progressions, they go to him. I'm like, whatever we did,
right.
The shit just did pow, just like that, D.
Nice.
The dude got that trumpet, and now he wants to be a member of Ulu. So I said to Akina, I said, see, Akina, that's what you have to understand we're doing.
Right.
Because there was only one person that showed up of any significance in our jam session. But every time we've had a jam session, there's been a breakthrough. And those breakthroughs, whether it's with your grandchildren, whether it's with an artist who's kind of, well, I might do it, I might not do it.
Right.
Their breakthroughs. That artist who was already on YouTube and has his shit together was like, oh no, I have to be here. Because he said, it's the feeling here. There was something I felt here. Then when the band crunk up, it just, here, screw the top down on that, sell that one. That one ready to go.
Right.
Yeah, I was like,
nice.
And Akina is in observation in awe of what's happening. Because Akina might have a little Yessi crush. Cause
she done caught a crush. They catch crushes. What you gonna do?
Akina done sent me something like 20 photographs of me, videos, and this. Nice. Oh, I got footage of you. And I said, I would deny everything. She said, so
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I said, I'm gonna deny everything. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And she said, okay, you go.
Y'all be a great couple. So she's single. I didn't know if she was.
She's single, and I'm like, I don't want to be coupled. I'm not.
Well, just not couples, but friends with open doors.
We are
friends with open doors. Just, it's not even. That's what it all begins as, friends with open doors.
But you know, she's. And I'm sitting back, I'm hearing her, and I'm like, oh, stay in your lane, Yessi. Just stay right here till everything is in place. Because she's key, and she's at that point where she can let imbalances influence her, but I try my best to keep her way up. And
you mean like physicality imbalances? Of wanting it to be what she wants it to be, type of vibe, or what? What do you mean by that?
Oh no, mostly life changed things for her because she's at that age where women go through some thing, and she's mentioned going through stuff. So I'm like, I don't believe in that.
She's buying in,
and that's what I'm saying.
The buy-in.
I'm like, I'm kind of like you on that. I'm like, if you buy into that, it's going to affect you.
Own it. Right.
But I feel that it can be easily addressed because it's here. It's not here that you're feeling it. It's here. You're thinking.
Let me send her my book.
Okay, but she's...
Tell her to send me her email, and I have a gift for her. Tell her it's a gift.
Her observations are so pure because she's like, oh hell no, Yessi, you know. That's your stage. Damn that bullshit. She'll tell me in a heartbeat, no, you are the one that does that.
That's right.
And I'm like, And Andre will tell you, even though Andre's always on the way, we got to do this and that. Andre's like, nah, hell no, man. You the truth on this shit. That's why he tell me, he said, one, because you mess with little one, I still fuck with you. And me and little one don't do nothing. He said, I don't care what you do with her. You take care of her. And you take care of her like, that's a part of you. People ask me about little one like they've met little one. I'm at the car wash yesterday.
Did she come to the session on Tuesdays?
No, little one is simply, and I'm sitting back like, I'm letting her chill because it's not time for her to come yet. I already know. I'm like, nope. We in transition. We just made a transition. She knows she's good, and she knows she has place with me. So, and see, little one has to put up with me when I'm frustrated with people. If I'm frustrated with you, little one got to hear. If I'm frustrated with Ken or somebody. You got
frustrated with me the other day.
Yeah, but I mean, we got, that's what, you know what? I'm going to leave you alone for a day or two because I evaluate me after that. I'm like, okay, what is up with me and this homosexual shit?
But you see how we vented a whole lot of it today? And it's beautiful.
I sat back and said, I've got to explain to D a little more that my I own that fugaziness. Because
it's just a teeny bit of judgment, just a little bit. And it comes from, being raised at a time where it was big. The judgment was everywhere.
It comes from a strong relationship with a man who owned the disturbances of it.
Right. And he didn't let that disturb
his see.
So you get mad when they have that energy, whether expressed or not, but they hide it, but they let it disturb.
Steve-O let me be straight.
Right.
He was gay. He let me be straight beautifully as a gay man and showed me love.
Right.
And
that's what
gay men.
But see, you can do that as a straight man.
I do that.
Let them be gay. And even if they don't know they're gay.
Even if they don't know.
If they don't know they're gay, you see it and you're like, okay, he's gay. So I'm going to let him be gay.
I'm a litmus test.
Yeah.
If you are a gay man, it's going to come out around me. Mm-hmm. If you're a gay man and you see me in operation, you're going to be, oh, I love him.
Right.
And I'm like,
right.
My gaydar just went,
okay.
I got you. And, but what I do is I say, come on over here. How you doing? There's a guy, Tino, in my phone right now. I know he's gay as a blade. He lets me out. He's going through his phone one time. I'm seeing dick pics. Oh, whoa. I'm like, okay, you let me know. I know. Right. But his respect for me in his admiration has to, my rebuttal is, we are good. Right. We good, bro.
We good.
We are good.
Exactly.
Anything you do, I already know you're gonna not let me see what you feel might be ruffling to me.
Right.
But you know I'll accept it.
Right.
But because of your love for me,
you're
gonna be like, hey man, you know what? Let's hook up a little later on over here. Because I gotta take folks and do this. And men will man up for me in respect to my heterosexuality. I've noticed that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That to me, I regard that highly.
Yeah.
Because you're actually compromising for me.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it so you don't have to do that.
Right.
However, that you did that is the most important thing.
Yeah. That your level of concern
was
such that you didn't want to make me feel uncomfortable
at all.
And yeah, I totally get that.
Right
even though I'm not uncomfortable around openly gay people.
Right.
So, but you learned how to deal with all people and through your various environments. And so it frustrates me when I'm like, Yessi, why is that even an issue?
And that's why I had to go into me on that.
Right.
Because part of the impasse at Ulu is some underlying secretiveness.
Yeah.
And I don't want to call it homosexuality. It's
usually
deception.
The deceit of down low behavior.
Yeah, it's that deception.
Yeah.
Or, see, because if what I'm finding is if you have deception in your life, it will bleed over into prejudice.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
And
Very true.
I refuse to be prejudiced against anyone.
Right.
I will observe what you are and I'll take my little bit of judgment and try to get rid of it.
Right.
But I will not prejudice myself against you for any cause other than you not being adequate for the work.
So then your empath self feels that prejudice in them, and then it's bristling. It makes you bristle. I get it.
It makes me challenge the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you said is the correct part. The deception in the
vibration, the
air. Underlying.
Yeah, they're putting it in
there. That is what I'm feeling. I'm like, wait a minute. There's some gay people here, and you acting like you're not gay, and you're making decisions for gay opposed to all. That's happening. I'm not going to allow that.
Right.
And I'm going to have to address it from this perspective because that's where the root of it is.
Right.
I'm not disliking you, and I'm not judging you. However, there's a bigger picture that you're not participating in wholly by reason of that little leaven I'm sensing.
Right.
And you bring the leaven out in me to my attention because you go, Yessi, you piss me off when you do that. Yeah. I just can't stand hearing that come from you because it's like you judging somebody. I'm like, okay, you picked that up. It must be there. That's what I have to say to it. It's there. Where do I correct that for the people who will feel what Deanna felt?
Yeah.
Because I can't allow anybody to feel. You can feel it to correct me. That's cool. but I can't let other people feel it and judge me. You won't judge me.
No.
You'll be frustrated with me.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah. Just for a minute, though.
But that's cool.
Hot minute.
Because that'll make me go, damn, how did I frustrate them with some gay shit? Wait a minute. Okay, let me think. Where did I go? And I always meditate on Steve-O. And I go, Steve-O, you know, I get all my gay energy from you. So you had to come on out of rest and help me through this.
Right.
And I honestly, you know, Steve-O's alive in me. Because the whole universe is here, and I get to choose the people that get full access to me.
Yes.
See, Steve-O he's in the access forever with me.
Yes.
You in the access forever with me. My children.
Yeah.
And only one of them right now. My son is the access. You know, they're mine, but you don't know me yet.
Yeah.
You only hearing about me, what your mama saying. You don't know me.
Yeah.
You are my child, so you got me, but you ain't really accessed me like you want to yet.
Right.
But my son, he knows me.
Yeah.
He's like, I have joy in thinking about how my son probably defends who he knows I am. That to me is relieving.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's like, oh, my dad? Shit. My dad might be God himself.
Exactly.
So.
Ding.
Yeah. So that makes me the son of the creator of the heavens and the earth. So,
Right.
You know, that
real.
right there, you know, and my son's in California now with my sister. I found out about it when he got in California.
The son that came here? Oh, wow.
Now,
California's calling. Cali's calling. It's calling summer. Summer's just like, I want to go to Cali. But she didn't want to go to school there. She didn't want to leave to go to school. And I told her I would be there with you if you go. But we going. We about to get on the road. Just drive out there. Because it's calling us both. And it's just, there's something about it right now.
Atlanta, keep in mind,
Atlanta's
you can get to Atlanta and not come in contact with us.
Yeah.
Yet, as I'm looking at who we are, we simply haven't decided to make a stronghold in downtown Atlanta. And we are a stronghold in downtown Atlanta. We're just not making a presence known.
Right.
So
That's absolutely true.
I mean, our whole connective network knows. They know you're back here on hold, just chilling, waiting for the right moment. Yeah. They know. They see me scratching at every door, saying, okay, this shit's going up right now. Now, you might not come out right now, but you have been notified. Right. And the way I deal with people is like, you know, the fire's going to get hot. I hope you got your heat resistance on. Because if you don't pass the heat test, you might not make it through this one, because it's about to go up.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Our attitudes are godlike when it comes to who we are, D. We don't sit back and play like, you know, we talk about who we are in the text of, you know, we kind of got to keep control of that nigga. You know, he'll bust out of me. But in me, I'm just trying to refine.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I have to be so perfect that when you get there, it pisses you off.
Yeah.
If I haven't pissed you off or made you totally elated,
right?
I'm good at total elation. The pie song last night was a total elation victory.
That's so beautiful.
That was so...
I know, it was beautiful.
When Akina came back and said, I can't even describe to you how you made that woman feel. And D, I knew it. Yeah. I knew it. But it was her moment it was her moment. And I didn't know 1 second before her moment that it was her moment. Didn't have no clue.
Right.
That's the macabre.
It is.
That is
being
the macabre.
Completely in the now, creating. That's it.
When the children walked up, that's what when she said, you know, the average band might have been like, oh, get them kids away from the instruments. Right. I'm like, if those instruments can't take those children, they're not adequate.
Amen.
If those instruments can't take that 2-year-old child hitting them, they are not worth being on stage with us.
Amen.
So,
yes.
The impact I've already made on the universe is sufficient. Yes. But I'm not going to settle for it. But the 4 children I know that ain't mine, that I've already touched, that will see me and be inspired again by seeing me. D, what kind of power is that?
Power.
Don't you have
power.
a pure responsibility when you hold that kind of power on your face?
Absolutely.
I can't even hide it. When a child sees me, they're going to look to see if I'm going to inspire them. And I'm going to go, and they're going to go,
yeah.
and I go, it's in the house. And see, my tears just, my tears say, right path, don't even worry about
Right.
it. And so I'm like,
They
ooh.
flow when they're supposed to. When the emotion overflows, it flows.
It's in the
And it's
pocket.
beautiful.
And for the
That means
children,
that's
it's just
in
like,
divine order.
that's what I'm saying. These adult heads, they're funny to me.
Yeah.
They're funny. And
Yeah.
I show them how funny they are with children. Because children will make me leave you alone.
I know that's
And if you're not in the zone and don't know to get over here with this energy,
right.
you will be out there just dangling around on your own,
Right.
wondering why is he over there with the children? If you don't know, you just don't know yet. You'll learn because it's not going to happen.
That's real.
That's what isn't going to happen. What do you mean? What we're doing is not going to happen. That's going down.
That's going on,
it's
my
going
friend.
to exist. So,
well, Yessi, this is amazing. This has been beautiful. Your interview is
heard
incredible.
a lot of this. It's just
You shared, and I just feel like if you build it, they will come. So that's what this whole podcast is about: creating and putting it out there, and trust and know that those who are supposed to hear it most definitely will. And I feel they'll be touched and inspired because that's what you bring to everything you do.
Yeah, we doing it. It's in the house. It's in the house. It's like, even like I walk down the street and I'm like on money tip. And my hand is telling me leave some things alone right now. You need to rest your important stuff because you got a duty. And I walked up to dude's car wash yesterday, day before yesterday. And, he give me the same, I get some people to whoop, whoop, whoop. I just started washing cars for him. Didn't ask him nothing. Gave me some money afterwards. Went the next day, wasn't busy. Washed the car, walked off.
Nice.
Dapped him up, talk to you later, bro. Why? Because you gave me enough money yesterday for the day.
Oh.
So, and see, when the brother's like, now you got to be respectful. He coming, he trying to get in and build up.
Right.
I'm trying to build up nothing.
Right.
You need me to come through every now and then. You don't need me as your employee, but you're in a good location. We're going to blow you up a little more.
Yeah.
And now, when I walk through, because somebody that worked for me is already his main person.
Okay.
And I walk in, they go. He's into Ogun and brings me oracles to read. This young man.
Nice.
And he a little tighter than I am in terms of study. So I'm like, good, I need you around me. Keep me tight, bro. I got you, bro. Because he know I'm freelance spirit. He's literature and doctrine. I'm like, okay, cool. I need some of that. Let me know when I'm off course. Yeah, I got you, bro. Another girl came up. I got her I follow her. She's a magic. And they talking, kicking it. And I'm like, look at what God got around me. These people respect the oracles of God. Because when I was talking to him, I said, it ain't religion I deal with. I deal with the oracles of God. Absolutely. And he looked at me and said, that's why you my nigga, boy. That's why you my nigga. Nothing else.
Right.
You stay on point there, period.
Right.
And if I get a little bit too Jesus-y, I might have to explain to, well, Jesus is Thoth as well. Yeah. So when you talk about Ogun, we're just talking about particular characters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he just like, okay, man. But he showed me a book yesterday. We washed the car, detailed the car. I'm gonna let you have this, man. I gotta take off and do my show. Right. He walks in, books in a black bag. He took the black bag out, dropped the book on it like that, and walked off. And said, I did that on purpose, right? And I'm sitting there another half hour. I can't remember the name of it. Voodoo.
Oh, a voodoo book. I met a Yoruban priest yesterday.
Yeah,
didn't meet him. I've been knowing him for over a year almost.
Straight out the Yoruba.
And he had just found out yesterday he was a Yoruban priest. He called himself a warlock first. And I was like, what you saying? But I always felt the magic on him. And
My boy full of man.
He started telling me his rundown, and he is a powerful priest.
This youngster next
Powerful
to me,
priest.
I'm just like, that's the kind of soldier that you need for the ones coming in to teach them the basics of Oracle.
Absolutely.
So that, you know, and you can be a master at it, but now I'm a master. I was born a master.
Right.
I've studied things, but to be honest with you, it's just this what I am.
And that's why the show is called Maiden, Mother, Master. Because I deal with the masters of their realms.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
I'm like, when I see, that's my point is, with a Deanna Dawn around me,
Oh God,
I can't be nothing but me.
Here we go.
I can't be nothing but me because Deanna Dawn's gonna be a master maiden, and everyone, whether they like it or not, can't do nothing but respect that. Because one, it ain't only you, it's the oracles that have always existed that caused us to be that we are.
That's right.
So
and called us to be here now. This is a very crucial time. We're in crucial, critical
and look at
times.
when you know, I'm listening to Thoth, and I know I've heard this thing, I'm gonna say at least 20 times now.
Right.
How I hear new shit still.
Every time.
So what Thoth says to me the other day is, the hardness that you're going to go through, it's not easy to be where you're going, what you're seeking out.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, that is the hardness I've been going through. And it wasn't hardness but for anything other than this purpose.
Right.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
real.
So, you know, I'm
That is real.
so basically enthused. I'm so happy to be able to emit the energy that I feel.
Yeah.
And when you know people are getting it, and you go, wow, people are talking about me when I'm not consciously thinking about them or I'm not even around, and they're talking about not me, but what I am. Yeah. And what it represents in reference to doing.
And how you made them feel.
And what I brought out of them, what I helped bring out of them.
That's right.
So, and you know, Andre, you know, said, you know, we on stage. I said, bro, I'm always on stage. I am never not on stage. When I come off the stage, every child, every person in there is watching where I walk. They're watching who I talk to. They're seeing how I talk to them. And they are drawing off that movement.
That's right.
And it is a now situation. Yeah. It is not a, I'm going to do this. And my energy was like, I'm at 45% last night. But I was actually aware at 95. My energy was low outwardly. Last night I was pulling in. Was it last night? Is today Wednesday? Yeah, last night.
Today's Wednesday.
So the two things last night that were supposed to happen, I'm just so pleased with the knowing of our success. The girl with the pie and the trumpeter. Both of those two were the only reasons we did Tuesday night last night. And I came in and I was like, well, we're here. And ain't no particular way to start off. Right. It's like Spirit got things going. And I was more a guitar player last night than anything else. And I did the song about righteousness, the righteous. And the whole band turned into a candle.
Oh, nice.
Poof! It just lit on.
Nice.
And I got harmonies on the hook.
Yeah.
The righteous.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's this music coming from? I'm singing.
Know where it's coming from.
I know. I'm singing D.
Right.
And another thought pattern in my mind is going on, going,
right.
These brothers love me.
Yeah.
I love these brothers.
Yeah.
Because I know what they need to hear. The Spirit says, tell them who they are.
Right.
And I sung saying, we're the righteous.
Yeah.
They started playing like, wasn't nothing else to do, man.
Right.
And singing in harmonies.
Nice. Oh my God.
So when it ain't but 3 people in the place, and they're just the trumpet players there, the girl with the there might be 4 other regular people floating around.
Right.
The dude trumpet player, he's just like, damn. Did they practice this? Nah, that's just what they... And Akita, the way she says it is kind of like a little girl that walked into a magic shop.
Right.
Like, no, they just do that. They do that all day. They make up music all the time. We don't know how they do it. And I'm just like... So, when you're an observer there, you're just like...
Right.
Really? You kind of like... Can I breathe in here? Is it okay to be in here? Do I have the permission to be here?
Right.
But of course you do.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, our Father's here.
Right.
I don't walk around without your father. Don't do that. Don't walk around without your guidance mother. Don't do it.
That's right.
Inside you.
That's
so
true.
these folks are.
That's
Then
right.
all the stuff I'm dropping is Thoth. All the stuff I'm dropping is Oracle. So I might not say the name Thoth or Jesus, but shh. I'm making you awaken. I am causing your glands to spark.
That's beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
and when we finish, it's like just the brothers just sit there bullshitting around. Go outside, burn one.
Right.
This is what we do.
We did that work tonight.
So,
Yeah.
and what I love is we set people up to want to go to work. There was so much energy, they don't want to stop.
That's right.
So Akina been up all day. I've been up since 5 a.m. Then washed cars, came and did a concert.
Right.
Done elevated 2 people personally.
Right.
And at 1 o'clock in the morning, you talking to me on the telephone.
Right.
So come on,
That's
this is
how
way
it-
bigger
that's how
energy.
You know, because
That's
I mean,
how you know.
I would just have to leave and make myself go to bed because I knew I had to get up in 2 hours to take Summer to school.
Akina made herself get off the phone. And then she gets off the phone and my boy calls me from Dallas at 1:40 in the morning. So, and now I'm up
Right,
this
you're already
morning,
up.
back out.
Right.
I'm like, God, you just so amazing because I don't have a diet to have this much energy.
Right.
I don't do meditations to have this much
Right.
energy.
Just pure force.
It's just you.
Pure source flowing through,
Pure
man.
source. I'm like, woo. And
Alignment with it.
so when bro comes through and plops a book down in front of me and looks at me, because he's that powerful now. This ain't no weak young man. This is a powerful young man.
Okay.
You drop a book, and he teased at me for not being as astute as him.
Oh,
I'm like,
sure.
okay, but I forgot a lot of stuff you learned. Don't worry about it. And I'll give him that.
It's in there.
But we
I
living it.
know
We
it.
living it
I
so.
don't
We're
remember it right
living
now,
it
but it's in
so
there.
hard
Yeah.
and smooth that the Andres that are looking, the people that are there that are claiming that are there to do work with us, they just see that, we got to do this work. Right. And I love them coming at me. They come at me so hard, constantly. You got to, I'm like, okay.
Child, please.
Pretty much. I'm like, I'm the preacher, right? I am the preacher. I'm not even in the choir. You're preaching to the preacher.
Right.
And it's like Andre tickles me the most because when Andre first met me and spoke with me, he's like, bro, you supposed to be speaking in front of people. You supposed to be in front of people motivating them doing this. I'm like, that's what I do. That's what I'm talking to you.
Right.
And he looks for the negative, but he don't. I think Andre just knows he has to oppose me because it brings something out of me.
Oh,
that,
interesting.
Yeah, it's like I was listening to Thoth. It said the earth must oppose man because without opposition, man won't thrive.
Contrast. Yeah.
It's the contrast, and it's like I get that.
I feel
So,
that.
but when you have spirit, when you get that, you go, okay, bring it on. Bring it on. Yeah, I am made for this. That all you got? We finished today. Let's take a nap and let's get back to it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
If we get here tomorrow. Might not need tomorrow. Might just stop time. So
Right.
I'm like, what we finna do, D? Because I'm talking and
we're done with the interview.
You
Thank
record?
you so much. Oh, what? The whole time.
Shit.
See? I told ya. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I love you all. I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for rating, hopefully, on iTunes and others. I don't really even know how that works. I'm not checking analytics really. The place where I upload, which is SoundCloud, I kind of look at how many plays the episodes are getting. But the show is on quite a few platforms right now. So I don't know. I hope you're listening. I hope you enjoy. I do get some emails from time to time that let me know people are listening. I did start an Instagram page, and it is Instagram.com/Maiden Mother Master. I'll put that in the notes for this episode. And as usual, you can reach me via email at 9ddawn@gmail.com. Get to know me better at deannadawn.com. And I'm also on Facebook. I am Deanna Dawn. And on Instagram at I am Deanna Dawn. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, your week. Enjoy this full moon. Get out in it. Go see it. Another great thing for the full moon to enhance your abundance. Take your wallet out. Walk out into the full moon. Show the moon your wallet. Open the wallet and say to the moon, full moon, full moon, full moon. Fill it up. Fill it up. Fill it up. And watch your abundance expand exponentially. It's all about intention and focus. I love you. Peace and blessings. A little girl who was afraid to achieve, so optimistic, full of possibility, but scared to bring it cause she wasn't received by her mama and her daddy, and the ones who didn't understand who she was and what she had, even though they could see her life had a plan. Look in the mirror, babe, what do you see? Come on and sing it now.